What is going on, guys? It's Modded Warfare here. Welcome back to another episode of PS4 Jailbreak Tutorials. This is the series that shows you how to take full advantage of your jailbroken PS4. And in this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to install permanent cheats for your PS4 games. Basically, we're going to create a modded cheat update, a cheat package for the game that is just a modified game update that you can install onto your game to give yourself permanent cheats for that game. So that if you struggle to use the trainer, or you don't like the fact that you have to, load up the WebRTE payload and connect a trainer in order to be able to enable some cheats for your games, especially if you want certain cheats on all the time, then it can be a bit annoying having to load up the trainer every single time. And of course, the problem with the web trainer is when you put your console into sleep mode and then recover from sleep mode, then it doesn't work anymore and you have to reboot the console and reload the jailbreak, which can be an issue for people on more unstable jailbreaks like 7.55. So this kind of avoids that issue. The cheats are permanently installed, so when you recover from sleep mode, you can rerun your game and the cheats will still be there. So that's another useful feature of doing it this way. The downsides to this is that it doesn't work on retail games. It only works on fake package games. And the other downside is that you can't turn the mods off unless you connect a trainer and turn the mods off that way, or uninstall the update in order to get the mods to turn off. So that is basically the pros and cons of doing this. So we're just going to go ahead and use Days Gone as an example. So I've updated Days Gone to version 1.51. So I'm looking for, a cheat package, or to create a cheat package for 1.51 to enable some permanent cheats. So if we switch over to the computer, so one of the options is to just download one of these pre-made cheat packages that's available from a user called JG Duff, who apparently has made loads of cheat packages for lots of different PS4 games. You can definitely go ahead and give this a try. It does have a few issues, like if your game package file does not match one of these MD5 hashes, then you'll have to remarry the update, the cheat package, to your base version of the game in order for it to work. I covered that in episode 4. So, you'll have to do that, which is an extra step. Plus, obviously, you can't pick and choose which mods you want to have permanently enabled either. These cheats are just what you get, and you can either take it or leave it. Whereas what we're going to do is create our own cheat package from scratch, and then we'll be able to pick and choose exactly which cheats we want to have permanently enabled and which ones we don't. And that just gives you more control. I think it's probably better to do it that way. But if you want to download one of these pre-made packages, I'll link this down in the video description. So anyway, we're going to create our own packages from scratch though, our own cheat packages. So in order to do this, we're going to need the PS4 patch builder, which is a tool I made a while ago for making modded updates, and also a hex editor. Any hex editor will do, really. I'm just going to use HXD because it's the one I'm familiar with. And then what we're going to do is we need to get our package files for our game. So we need our game package file and our update package file, because I'm on version 1.51. So I need to make sure I'm getting the game package file plus the 1.51 update package file for the game. Now, if you already have it on your computer from when you installed it initially, then that's great. If you don't have it anymore, so you installed it on your PS4 and now you've deleted the files off your computer, how do you get them? Well, you can get them from the PS4's hard drive via FTP. Obviously, what you need to do is go on to your PS4 and load up the Gold Hen payload. So go to your exploit host, whichever one you're using. I'm still using caro218.ir. So I go ahead and load that, load whichever firmware version you're on, load up the WebKit exploit, load up the jailbreak, and then load Gold Hen version 1.0 or 1.1 or whichever the latest version is. And then once that loads, make sure you're connected to your network. And then the last notification that should pop up will be the FTP notification with your IP address in it. So note down that IP address, switch back over to the computer, and then open up an FTP client like FileZilla. And if we open up FileZilla, we're then going to type in the IP address of our PS4 into the host box and enter 2121 as the port number and connect. And that will connect you to your PS4. So from here, you can then go down to the user directory. And then from the user directory, you can go into the app directory. Then go to the title ID of your game. So for Days Gone, that's 09176. If you don't know what the title ID of your game is, you can go to orbuspatches.com and then just search for the name of the game. And then you'll get the title IDs here. As you can see, 09176, 09176. and then you can go ahead and copy the app package out to your computer. So that's the actual game package file, the base game package file. And then to get the update for the game, you go back to the user folder and then go to the patch directory right here. And then again, go to the title ID of your game, and then you'll find the patch.package, which is the game update package file, which you can then again copy to your computer. Now, obviously, if you're over Wi-Fi, it's going to take a long time to copy over FTP. So what you can do instead is use the PS4 Explorer app and copy it to a USB drive that way. So you just go to the same locations on your hard drive with the PS4 Explorer app, and then just copy the package files from there to your USB drive, and then plug the USB drive back into your computer. So that's another way of getting them copied over. So as you can see, I've got them copied over right here, the game and the 1.51 update. So in order to make our cheat packages, what we're going to do is run PS4 Patch Builder. So we're going to run this application. So it may take a little while to open, but once it opens, we're going to go to our package file for the update, the game update, and we're going to copy that into package extraction. So you can just drag it into package extraction or click the three dots and browse for it manually, and then wait for that to load in, as you can see here, and then click the extract package option. Okay, and then once it opens up, select an output location. So I'm just going to select my USB storage device, select all so that you're extracting the entire game update, and then click export files, and that will extract the entire game update to this location. Okay, there we go. So once we're done, we're at 100%, we can go ahead and close this now, and that is us all good. So we can now go into the image0 folder and then go to the eboot.bin or whatever the main executable for the game is. So in most cases it's eboot.bin, but in some cases it can be different. So what we're going to do is we're basically just going to hard code the cheats from the trainer into the main executable for the game, and that will give us those cheats permanently enabled, because most of the cheats in the PS4 trainer are essentially knopping instructions inside the eboot.bin anyway. They're just doing it remotely in memory, whereas we can just hard code those values directly into the executable file itself so that we have those cheats permanently enabled. So it's actually pretty simple to do. So all we have to do is grab the PS4 trainer. So if we just head to ps4trainer.com and then go to the actual trainer itself. So we load up the trainer, get rid of any IP addresses that are in there, and then search for the game. So Days Gone, and we want, so there is no 09176 for this one, so 09175 will do. So version 1.51, which is the version that I'm on. So I'm going to select that, scroll down to the bottom and view the code, which gives you the source code for the trainer. So if we scroll down all the way to the bottom here and just copy the entire source code, and we'll paste that into a notepad document right here, as you can see. All right, and as you can see, it says the process name is eboot.bin. So we have our eboot.bin file right here. If it was something different, a different executable like default.elf or something, then you would obviously apply the mods to that file instead. So what we're going to do is open up our hex editor and just close out of this now. So we'll open up a hex editor and drag the eboot.bin file inside. And then we're going to search for something called libexec. So libexec, search for that. And as you can see, it's right here. This is basically where the, where the actual executable starts, the start of the file. So we want to copy the address of that start of the file. So if I right click and I select block, I can copy that address right here. Just copy it. And again, I'll store this in another notepad document right here. Okay, so the next step is to go to the addresses. So let's do infinite stamina. Now, the reason I copied that start address is that these addresses will not work directly. If I go to one of these addresses by holding down Control G, or you can go to search and then go to. So Control G or search go to, and then we go to that address right here for stamina. You can see that this is not the right place. So you can see it says 3C FE0048. And that's not the default value. The default value is meant to be 488914C1. So obviously that's not correct. So all we have to do is essentially add this number right here to the address. So if we do the address plus this, that should get us to the correct address. So all we have to do is open up a calculator. like this. Make sure it's in programmer mode and select hexadecimal. And then we're just going to copy this in here and add it onto the address. So all we have to do is add that onto this address. So copy this address, add that, and that will equal this. So now we have 12A9867. And if we go to that address instead, so Control G and then paste in the address, click OK. As you can see, 488914C1. I'll probably have to zoom in on this actually, because this is going to be quite small. But yeah, so as you can see there, that is the default value, and it does match the default value from the trainer, 488914C1. So all we have to do is change that to the NOP. Obviously, to NOP the value, you just set all of these bytes to 90, and that will allow you to NOP the value and give yourself your unlimited stamina. So to do that, we could just type it in, or we can just highlight the default value right here, and then right click and fill selection. We're just going to put in 90 as the bytes that we're going to fill that selection with. Click OK, and that will write 90 into that location. And that's it. We have got infinite stamina hard coded into the game now. So let's do infinite items as well, just to kind of, you know, hammer in how this is done. So we're going to do Control G again. And before we do that, we're going to add our address to the start of the executable, the start of the file. And then we're going to paste that address in, and that's going to take us here. And as you can see, the byte here is 55, which is the default value. And then to turn infinite items on, you change it to C3. So we'll just change that to C3, and that should be infinite items. And we'll do nitrogen as well. And you just keep doing this. So yeah, we'll do this one more one here, plus this value equals this. Copy it, paste it in here, go to that location. So this one's a bit different. As you can see, C5EA5CD1. This is C5FA5CC1. Slightly different. I think that's probably just because these are slightly different game versions, like title ID versions. Actually, it's more like the default value has probably changed in the 1.51 version and it hasn't been updated in the trainer. That's probably why they're different. So it shouldn't cause any issues. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a try anyway. So again, I'm just going to right click and fill selection with 90. And that NOPs the value. And then we'll go and just do a couple more things. Let's do infinite ammo as the last one. And we'll do infinite fuel in the motorcycle as well, actually. So that'll do. We'll just do those few cheats there. So what's that? Infinite items, infinite ammo, infinite fuel in the motorcycle, and nitrous, and stamina as well. So we'll go ahead and save that now. That's hard-coded into the application. So now all you have to do is rebuild these files into another game update. So in order to do that, we're going to use, again, the PS4 patch builder. All you have to do is copy in the image0 folder into the project location, as you can see right there. Then you want the original game package file in here. So for that, we're going to grab the original game package file, which is this one right here for the game. Copy that one in. I'll try and change the latest version so that doesn't auto increment. And then what we're going to do, so set that to the game version. And then we can edit the patch notes as well if you want to add any additional patch notes just to say what cheats have been installed. So, you know, we've got bug fixes, and then I'll add cheats. And then we'll add, I don't know, we'll add a few cheats in here. Okay, so I think that's about it. So we can add that in. You don't have to add patch notes. It's just something you can put in as a reminder to yourself that you can check the patch notes on the actual PS4 for the game update, so you can see, you know, what cheats are installed, just to jog your memory in case you forgot. So you can go ahead and do that. And then of course you've got your output location of where we're going to write the modified update to, which again, I'm just going to write to my USB drive so I can just install it straight on the PS4. So let's build the package file now. We click that button and that will rebuild the package, as you can see. Okay, there we go. So the update has been built. As you can see there, we're good. We've got the log. So the update's been built successfully. So now all we have to do is install this modded update. In fact, I'll just rename it and add _cheats at the end, so we know it's our cheat package. So now all we have to do is install that on our PS4. So we're going to go ahead and eject the USB drive and plug it back into our PS4. Okay, so as you can see, I'm still on 1.51 right now. And if I go to update history, you can see you've just got 1.51 bug fixes. So I'm going to go ahead and install this modded version. So debug settings, game package installer, and install the cheats right here on top of the game. And again, this is not just the cheats, this is the whole 1.51 package. Because one of the issues before is that when you download these small cheat package files that are, you know, like only a few hundred megabytes in size, they overwrite the game update and basically reset the game back to 1.00, which is not great. Whereas with this, you've got the whole game update included with the cheats. So once it's installed, you've got the game updated, plus it has the cheats installed as well. So yeah, you don't have to install 1.51 and then install this on top. You can just install this on top of the base game to update it to 1.51 plus get the cheats installed. So we've got the cheats installed now. So all we have to do is go back in here and go to information. As you can see, we're still on 1.51. But if I go to update history, you can see we now have the cheats added, infinite ammo, stamina, nitrous, fuel, and items added in our patch notes. So now we'll go ahead and run the game and make sure that this is all working. Okay, so the game's loading up. That's a good sign. Obviously, if the eboot.bin was corrupted, you wouldn't be able to launch the game. It would probably just freeze on the loading screen or something, or give you a CE error or something like that. So there we go. We're into the game. As you can see, we still have our new game plus and everything. So we are updated to 1.71. So I'm just going to hit continue, get into a game. Okay, there we go. So we're in the game now. Let's run around and see. Stamina is going down, but I think the way infinite stamina works is it does start going down and then it stops at a certain point and doesn't go down anymore. So let's just keep running. See what happens. Start running again. Nope, stamina bar is not even showing up anymore. So yeah, we've basically got infinite stamina. Let's bring out our weapon, fire some shots, reload. As you can see, infinite ammo's working because our ammo's not going down when we reload. We're still 125. So that's working. And then let's, you know, get on the bike. So we've got 100% fuel in the bike right now. And we'll hit our nitrous. This will be interesting because this default value is different. But that seems to be working. It's not going down. So we've got infinite nitrous going on in the motorcycle as well. So that's working. Driving around for a little bit with nitrous on constantly. So our fuel should have gone down quite a bit by now. So let's see what we got here. And yep, we are still 100% fuel in the motorcycle. So there we go. So that's all of those mods enabled permanently. And I do think this is a better way of doing it than using, you know, a pre-made cheat package, which you can obviously use if it has everything that you want. Oh shit, I'm just getting attacked right now. My poor motorcycle. I should have done infinite durability on the motorcycle as well. So I do think that's better to make your own cheat package, because then you can choose exactly which mods you want to be enabled and which ones you don't want. So you can pick and choose yourself. Plus you don't have to remarry the package file, go through all of that crap. You don't have to worry about the cheat package deleting your update off the game and you're back to the base game. You don't have to worry about that either. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's how you install permanent cheats. And obviously, if you want to uninstall the cheats in future, then all you have to do is essentially uninstall the patch. So if you don't want the cheats anymore, you can run the patch installer. Now, the patch installer is only meant for retail game updates, but it can be used to remove fake package game updates from the game as well. So you can select the game and then delete currently installed patch, and that will reset you back to the base game. And then once that's done, you know, the patch has been successfully uninstalled. And if we check, we can see we're now back to version 1.00 and the mods are removed. And then we could just install a stock 1.51 update to get the game updated again. Actually, you probably don't even need to do that. You can probably just update the game with the normal stock 1.51 update, and that will overwrite the cheats and turn the cheats off. And then when you want the cheats again, you can just reinstall the cheat package to get the cheats. So yeah, that's it. That's how you create your own cheat packages for your games. Hope you guys enjoyed the video or found the information useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video.